The All-Star weekend is officially over, and well, the Russell Westbrook drama also has a definitive ending. Yesterday, we learned that Kevin Love will be signing with the Miami Heat like what we predicted, and today we are right again because according to NBA insider Adrian Wojnarowski, quote, after finalizing a contract buyout with the Utah Jazz, 9-time All-Star guard Russell Westbrook plans to sign with the Los Angeles Clippers, his agent Jeff Shorts of Excel Basketball tells ESPN. Pretty interesting note here, it turns out that Kevin Love and Russell Westbrook have the exact same agent. Later on, Woj also reported that, quote, Westbrook had discussed deals with the Chicago Bulls, Washington Wizards, and Miami Heat in recent days, but the chance to compete for a championship and remain in Los Angeles played a significant part in his decision to choose the Clippers, sources said. From the financial perspective, we also got some new updates. According to NBA front office insider Bobby Marks, quote, at the time of buyout, Westbrook had $13.2 million left on his contract. He will sign for the prorated veteran minimum, about $785,000, if signed on Wednesday. The Clippers have added since the trade deadline Eric Gordon, Bones Highland, Mason Plumlee, and now Westbrook. Before the signing, the Clippers are the 4th seed in the Western Conference. However, with this single signing here by the Clippers, I believe they have a shot to be the top 2 seeds in the West, which will give them huge advantage once the playoff approaches. In today's video, we'll be talking about why adding Russell Westbrook just made the Clippers the scariest team in the entire West. So with that being said, let's roll the intro.
Hi. I'm on my match in the dark. 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 I'm on my match.
Yo, what's up guys, Jason's here back with another video. If it's your first time watching, I make NBA content every single day. If you want the latest NBA news and rumors on your feed, all you gotta do is to leave a like and subscribe so that you won't miss any of my future uploads. Starting off, let's first talk about why Russell Westbrook decided to join the Clippers. Of course, like I mentioned before, the fact that the Clippers and the Lakers are both away team is a huge factor for Westbrook because joining the Clippers means he doesn't have to move his entire family to a different city. According to ESPN, quote, Westbrook 34 joins the Clipper core that has championship aspirations and includes his former Thunder teammate Paul George. Right off the bat, I personally think that the Clippers are a top 3 team in the West, so right there, it satisfies the contender category for Westbrook. Also, we know previously that Paul George publicly recruited Westbrook to come to the Clippers, and with the previous chemistry together with the Thunders, that's another check mark right there. Later, we also learned that, quote, leading up to the deal, team officials, including Clippers coach Ty Lue and president of basketball operations Lawrence Frank, reportedly had a number of conversations with Westbrook about his willingness to fit into the specific role centered around his playmaking, rebounding, and toughness. And I think this will finally fully utilize Westbrook's talent. Now, I think we all have to agree here that Russell Westbrook is not a bad player. At the age of 34 years old, Westbrook was averaging about 16 points, 6.2 rebounds, 7.5 assists, and 1 steal per game. Of course, we can agree that Russell Westbrook is overpaid with that $47 million cap hit, but now signing him on a veteran minimum of less than $1 million is no doubt a huge deal for the Clippers. The Clippers acknowledge the fact that Westbrook is not a good shooter, but rather a good playmaker, rebounder, and a facilitator for this offense. And that is exactly the environment Russell Westbrook needs right now. Now, from a roster perspective, adding Russell Westbrook simply makes the Clippers rotation even more robust. Take a look at this current depth chart here, and I don't think any team out there can outcompete this. At the point guard positions, the Clippers' first option is Terrence Mann. This year he's averaging 9.2 points, 3.8 rebounds, and 2.2 assists per game, while shooting 39.2% behind the arc. Although he didn't have a huge lead from last season, his status as a good shooter is still true. Now, we already talked about Westbrook and it looks like he'll be the second option, but in my opinion, I think Westbrook can be the starter. But again, as for the Clippers and him agreed on, they will build a specific role for him on the team, so there's no point to argue about that. However, even the third option at the point guard spot, Bones Highland, who was the Clippers acquired from the Nuggets, is playing at a high level. Earlier with the Nuggets, Highland was averaging 12.1 points, 2 rebounds, and 3 assists per game, while shooting about 38% behind the arc. With the Clippers in a reduced role, he's averaging 7.5 points, 3.5 rebounds, 1.5 assists, and 1 steal per game, while shooting 50% behind the arc. Of course, that number is going to go down since it's only been 2 games, but again, he's a great shooter. Now, you can already see here why the Clippers want to fully embrace Russell Westbrook, because they already have options at the point guard position that can shoot on a high level, so adding Westbrook only makes the rotation stronger. At the shooting guard positions, the Clippers listed Paul George here as the number 1 option, but of course we know that he can play forward too. This year as an all-star, Paul George is averaging 23.3 points, 6.1 rebounds, 5.3 assists, and 1.5 steals per game, while shooting 38.2% behind the arc. And that is the definition of a complete player. In my opinion, I think Paul George is a top 5 forward in the league right now. The second option behind him, Eric Gordon, who the Clippers acquired from Houston, is averaging 10 points, 2 rebounds, 5 assists, 1 steal, and 1 block per game, while shooting 37.5% behind the arc with the Clippers. Again, you can see here that the Clippers are loaded with good shooters, and therefore that minimizes Russell Westbrook's shooting problem. Moving on to the small forward position, without a doubt, Kawhi Leonard is obviously the number 1 option. After dealing with an ACL injury last year, Leonard is coming back strong. This season, he's averaging 22.1 points, 6.2 rebounds, 4 assists, and 1.4 steals per game, while shooting about 38% behind the arc. The guy behind Kawhi Leonard, Norman Powell, is averaging 17 points, 3.1 rebounds, and 1.8 assists per game, while shooting almost 42% behind the arc. I'm surprised that no one is talking about him, but look at his 3-point number these past 2 years. It has always been dangling around 40%. Just one more time, the Clippers are loaded with elite shooters on all levels. Now let's move on to the power forward position. The first option right now is Marcus Morris, who is averaging 12.3 points, 4.2 rebounds, and 1.8 assists per game, while shooting 38% behind the arc. You guys already know what I'm going to say next, another good shooter there. The guy behind him, Nicholas Batum, is averaging 5.9 points, 4.2 rebounds, and 1.5 assists per game, while shooting about 38% behind the arc. Despite a reduced role this season, Batum is still very efficient behind the arc. Even the Clippers' big man, Ivica Zubac, is slowly developing into one of the most efficient and stable centers. This year, he's averaging 10.2 points, 10.1 rebounds, and 1.3 blocks per game. While having a loaded team of shooters, Zubac is often the guy that benefits from this, and plus his rebounding and shot protection always contribute to the team. Even the guy behind him, Mason Plumlee, who the Clippers acquired from the Hornets before the trade deadline, is averaging 7 points, 5.5 rebounds, 3 assists, and 1 steal per game. Before the trade deadline, you might argue that the Clippers are a bit thin at the center position behind Zubac, but again, they were able to address it with Mason Plumlee. And guys, I haven't even mentioned a guy named Robert Covington yet, who is able to defend from 2 to 4 on a pretty high level. I mean, if we look at this entire roster from the bottom to the top, they have talent everywhere. And imagine this with Russell Westbrook. If you asked me at the start of the season if the Clippers will have such a loaded roster, I would say no. But this is happening right now, right in front of us. If nobody's injured once the playoff hits, I have the Clippers going all the way to the Western Conference Finals. In this loaded Western Conference, the Clippers indeed have what it takes to compete with any team out there. Alright guys, that's all we got for today's video, and let me know your thoughts about Russell Westbrook and the Clippers in the comment section down below. If you enjoy the content, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, and follow me on social media with all the links in the description box down below. Once again, thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I will see you guys in the next episode. Peace.